Here at Chonilla.com, we like to cuss. And if you don't want your kids to hear it, then listen to us when they're not around. But if you don't mind your kids listening to grown folks talk, then turn this shit up and let the show begin.
Hello, this is Amber from Black, Sexy, Geeky, and Mental. And you're listening to Chonilla. I can't get enough. I want more and more and more.
LaFear, bitch. Who the fuck you think you was? This LaFear, a.k.a. Dirty Black.
LaFear.
If you don't like my music, then you a bitch.
It's LaFear.
How do you spell that?
L-A-F-E-A-R. Like it sounds.
Damn, baby. Damn.
A.K.A. Dirty Black.
Damn, baby. Damn, baby. Damn, baby. Damn.
Wow.
Damn, baby. Damn, baby. Maybe she the girl at the corner store, acting shy, but on the low. She after hours at after hours. Houses of smoke with a house of smoke, and the house is a smoke.
Morning.
Throwing her money. She think she a joke, but she about money. Ain't nothing funny, baby, about money. Bouncing like a monkey, acting like a donkey.
Did you say awesome like a monkey?
Bossing like a monkey.
Got 'em all
Acting like a donkey.
Said she gotta get up early and do her homework before she go to school. Long hard night.
He's dating underage people?
Baby like to get it in.
He sounds like he was rolled into the
Get
booth
it in
Oh my
twice or
god, I
three
swear to God,
times.
Clove.
after like a 6-day binge of alcohol.
You're gonna have to hold me back if the girls bring a guy like that. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna beat them right in front of the guy.
All in down, all on the floor, all on the wall, all on the pole, all day long. All
Come on, Shirley, that's sexy.
Y'all gotta know all these bras, all in down, all on the floor, all on the wall, all on the pole, all day long.
After his while, his voice sounds like he's just burping.
Oh my god.
You're listening to Chonilla.com.
I'm still in shock.
Sexy music.
Wow.
Gave me the butterflies and the tinglies.
And some girl probably like, yeah, that's my music, girl.
That's my jam
That's
right
my
there.
jam right there. And she's like, LaFear.
Speaking of LaFear, you were hanging out at Chonilla.com. I'm Clove.
And I am
And it
Shirley.
is Sunday, July 18th, 2015 at 11:49 a.m.
In the motherfucking Eastern time.
as abscond.
Abscond?
Abscond.
Is that a noun?
It's a verb.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Abscond. Okay. How do you spell it?
A-B-S-C-O-N-D. Abscond.
There's cucumber missing?
Mm-mm. It's
don't know.
to depart in a sudden and secret manner, especially to avoid capture and legal prosecution.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. The cashier absconded with the money.
That's a weird thing to say. If I really want to bug somebody and be a nerd about things, I'll use that word. I'll use that word with people I don't like.
So you think words like this that are unfamiliar anger people?
Yes, it angers me.
Makes me feel angry inside. Never heard that word before.
I don't like you.
What is going on with our Patreon, Shirley?
Patreon. Hey, head over to Patreon. That's one of the cool ways that you can support the show. There are different pledges that you can choose from $1, $5, and so on. You can get a chance to have a t-shirt, get a chance to pretty soon get extra content beyond the free content that goes out on iTunes and Stitcher.
Yes.
So patreon.com/Chonilla, or if you just simply go to chonilla.com and then click on Become a Patreon. And we're 28% into our first milestone?
Yes,
right?
we are. That is correct.
Where you can enjoy all the network shows from your mobile device. So our milestone goal for the first one is to try to recreate or bring back the mobile app. So 28% there. So again, patreon.com/Chonilla for your support.
That's perfect.
Thank you.
Finally.
Oh my God.
Nailed it.
How was your week, honey?
It was all right.
Just all right?
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It was a
Did you want to share where to find us first, or did you want me to go in?
Oh, hey, this is the first time listening. We're Chonilla, right? We're chocolate and vanilla,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, no, I'm saying. You can find us on Twitter at Chonilla, or Clove at Clovosaurus, or myself at Shirasaurus. I wanted to say thank you to Darren and Trana for coming through, man. They
Always
were
a good time.
Zoo Fest. And that wrapped up yesterday, actually, for them, for my first time.
Very cool.
Where Montreal comedians and Vancouver comedians' worlds collided for extreme laughter. Wah! Canadian style. So anywho, but no, thanks so much for Darren and Trana. I'd love to have them and invite them back for some more conversation.
That'd be lots of fun. Yeah. So tonight, today, I'm going to talk about a little bit about taking less responsibility at work.
Oh, yeah,
And, I read a book over the last couple of weeks.
Cool. I'm going to talk about awesome. Now, I don't listen. Let's just say this. I know there's a lot of Joe Rogan fans, but this one I listened to where he had
I still got to listen to that.
a retired cop.
Uh-huh.
That was a really great show. So I'm going to talk about that.
Very cool.
Not in too much detail, so that way you can have a chance to listen. Even if it's in details, you just have to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes.
From the insider voice.
Yeah, yeah. And
I learned a bunch of stuff on Facebook.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm good. And we're going to talk about the whole spirit versus psychic conversation.
Sure.
We're going to continue that conversation.
I am more than welcome to continue that conversation with the mics on.
Yeah, but no dirty Mac. Not on this, this
you don't
week.
gotta, you just talk about the stuff you do have.
Yeah.
I got some Bible scriptures, 90210. We're going to go into the book of Joshua, chapter 9 today.
Oh,
yes.
cool.
Yes.
And we'll go into some news as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Where some dude was denied at a hospital in MTL.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
All right.
And more. Anywho.
So let's get started.
Yes. So, less responsibility, huh?
Yes. I went to see my managers and said that I needed less responsibility. I was having a hard time balancing the stuff at home with the stuff at work. The work-life balance was off and shifted. Mm-hmm. So they were very supportive and they helped me out. And, now I have less responsibility at work. That's a great story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Awesome. I'm loving the details.
Can't get into too many details. That's the thing.
No, I know that. Yeah. But I wanted to but that whole experience of you getting to that point where, less responsibility and everything. Yeah. I guess we just through us talking about the whole ordeal or thing, not ordeal, thing, realizing that, video games has been a priority for you for a decade,
over a decade.
Over a decade.
Over a decade and a half.
Yeah. And so it made me realize, actually, you know what? This was such a huge priority for you, right? I'm not saying it's not a priority now, but it was your life. To some point, it really, if it affected our relationship, it affected family life. It was it
affected everything, Shirley.
Yeah, everything. Was your number one choice, more before anything else or anyone else. I mean, it's great.
Well, I got to get mine, right? I mean, I got to.
Well, yeah,
you got to take care of myself.
Yeah. And you and I said to you, like, you wouldn't have been able to move up the ladder so
Sounds
quick.
so corporate, eh?
No, but it's true. Like, so quickly and for
Right.
such a long time and being in your position and
Didn't
stuff
feel
like
quick
that.
to me, though.
Well, I hear you. I hear you. That
But I know
you've
what you mean.
progressed.
I was career driven.
You're highly career driven.
Yes.
It was like, and I was like, oh my gosh, Clove, when you think about it, video game is your life.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So now,
So overall, it means way less meetings and more hands-on work.
cool.
Yep.
And so you're going to animate again?
Yes, I am.
Is that exciting for you? Nerve-wracking
Absolutely.
or both?
It's no, it's not nerve-wracking at all. It's exciting.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because then you're like, you've been on managerial paperwork kind of mode
Mm-hmm.
for so long. So now you get to be creative again, right?
Well, creative in a different way.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
how different?
Well, creativity likes to have kind of a rules around it. Do you know what I mean? Like there's certain rules that you can't break, and there's certain rules that they're a little bit flexible. So you have to kind of manage creativity within that. So the more rules you have, the more your creativity is smart. Do you know what I mean? And not like off of the global vision or whatever.
Okay.
So it's just when your creativity is more confined like that, I find it less stressful.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Mhm.
So I'm excited for you.
I'm excited too.
It'll be interesting to see you come home and be like, hi.
Not,
I'm so
I'm
tired.
going to bed.
Yeah. And
Good
you-
night, everybody. Why didn't anybody wake me up? Good night.
Yeah. And you read a book.
I did.
And
I read. Go ahead.
I was going to say, well, before you go into your book, thank you for sharing with me yesterday that I'm impressed that Ronan read a book too.
Yes.
That he finished a book. I was actually
You got me
shocked.
doubting if you finished it, though. You got me doubting that. So
Why?
I got to check with him if you
Well,
actually
did he
finished
tell
it.
you the end?
He told me around the end, yeah. Yeah. I remember walking away thinking like, wow, that's close to the end.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
okay.
Yeah.
So maybe we need to check up on that.
Yes.
This little one.
I will check up on that.
Come in.
Come on in, sweetie pie. How you feeling? How's your tummy?
Just here. Oh, you got the hiccup.
No,
Oh, I thought you had the hiccup.
mommy. Can you come out to video game thing?
Yeah, we're all gonna go, right?
Yeah, we're going right after we're done recording.
As a family.
High five.
Ronan!
She's gonna tell. I'm coming.
Yeah, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, after this, we're gonna go check out Mondial Jeu, where it's like a multiplayer video game festival in Montreal that's going on until the 25th.
Lots of fun.
Yeah, so there's gonna be like, and it's free. It's free.
Mm-hmm.
I love stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah, so Martian, the book.
Yes.
What's that like?
It was good. It was really, really good.
What's it about?
It's about nerdy stuff that you would not like
Why?
because it's all about math and figuring stuff out in physics.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, it's like an action adventure book, but it definitely goes into a lot of nerdy stuff when he talks about trying to survive on Mars.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
Yeah, he's got to make water, he's got to make potatoes, he's got to do a whole bunch of stuff.
Does he run into something or some?
Well, I don't want to spoil it for everybody. It's gonna be a movie soon.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Do you know who's gonna be in it?
Matt Damon.
Based on what you told me,
Mhm.
what the book is about,
Mhm.
makes sense. I could see that.
Yeah, he's the main character. His name is Mark Watney, and he's kind of yeah, right.
Okay.
Why are you laughing at that name?
It's a weird name. It sounds weird.
And but he's kind of a smartass, you know what I mean? So it fits that Matt Damon is going to be playing him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to read the back cover, and
Okay.
hopefully this would inspire people to
That's
read it.
yeah.
So 6 days ago, astronaut Mark Watney became one of the first people to walk on Mars. Now he's sure he'll be the first person to die there. After a dust storm nearly kills him and forces his crew to evacuate while thinking him dead, Mark finds himself stranded and completely alone with no way to even signal Earth that he's alive. And even if he could get word out, his supplies would be gone long before a rescue could arrive.
No!
Chances are, though, he won't have time to starve to death. The damaged machinery, unforgiving environment, and plain old human error are much more likely to kill him first. But Mark isn't ready to give up yet. Drawing on his ingenuity, his engineering skills, and a relentless, dogged refusal to quit, he steadfastly confronts one seemingly unsurmountable obstacle after the next. Will his resourcefulness be enough to overcome the impossible odds against him?
Tune in next week.
You got to read the book or watch the movie.
Yeah, I don't think
Yes.
I can read it.
But it's full of nerdy stuff. Like it's all about like if water freezes at this atmospheric pressure and blah 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 blah. And, But it's fun to the ride is fun.
Okay. Do you know anything about this whole Pluto thing and Neil deGrasse? I haven't really read into it, but
Well, there's a moon on Pluto that's got like some plumes coming out of it. They think are water plumes, so they think that one of the moons of Pluto is actually like active, or they think it's actually Pluto. I'm not sure, but they're talking about how something around Pluto, either Pluto itself or one of its moons, has like a warm center, like a warm core. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
And Neil deGrasse Tyson's like, I don't care what you say, it's still a dwarf planet. That's what I'm gathering.
All he's saying is, prove it's a planet. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Prove it's a planet. And as soon as it gets proven that it's a planet, it'll regain its planetary status.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of planets, planet aligned. No, I mentioned I listened to that Joe Rogan show. He had this this dude called Michael A. Wood Jr. He was a Marine Corps veteran before he started working for the Baltimore Police Department. And he was there for like about 11 years until he had a shoulder injury that forced him into retirement. And he looks really young. Basically, he decided to start a Twitter account where he tweets things that he's seen or participated while being a police.
I remember that Google account, yeah.
Yeah, and then policing the corruption and things like that. And he talked about like there was so many things that I know we've mentioned on the show, or things I was like, I knew it, like how like they can arrest like deep down inside a police officer, kind of want the action, are looking for the action. You know what I mean? They could be in a situation where they tell somebody to drop their pencil, let's say. And when the person does it, he was saying things like some cops will think like, oh, please don't do it. Please don't put down the weapon. Don't put down the pencil, because like there's a sense of like, I want to attack. I want to instigate it. I want this to get to a point where
I'm ready to shoot you to death. I feel like
I'm in Miami Vice.
Yeah, I'm ready to shoot you to death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My gun is pointed at your face right now.
Yeah.
And I wish you would.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's thugs.
Yeah. It seems like from what he was saying, like that. Yeah,
super
thug mentality. Yeah. And he was saying how
you're gonna do what I say out of threat of violence.
Yeah,
that's thug,
right? And he's saying like, some of these guys, again, right? They're not they have a GED. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
What's going on, Pudding Pop?
But clearly has, in a way, in his example, that you could separate the cops that have military background like himself, who knows how to use a weapon, who knows how to be under pressure with a weapon,
and who's been trained in rules of engagement,
right?
Who's been trained in like some type of regulated enforcement,
right?
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you have to.
Yeah. Yeah, they're trained for that. They know.
And then I just found out that there was a lot of states that didn't have any of those kind of laws, like laws that protected people from the misuse or abuse of police power. Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he was saying the difference of that. He was saying the difference of, that you can compare someone who clearly has none of that, who just, again, has either a high school diploma or just a GED,
Yeah.
and has nothing, you know what I mean? Policing out of fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not because they've been trained on combat and all of that you just mentioned.
Yep.
There was just so like he was saying, like in Baltimore, I think for 11 years he was in the drug department during his tenure of
narcotics.
Yeah.
Sure.
And how, like, for example, like they would question him because in his district, when the violence or the criminal activities are going down in his area, because he's actually doing
his job
and a good job, that his higher ups would question that. Like I don't understand. Like, I don't see any reports. I don't see much activities or things going on with you. What's happening here? And he was saying how sometimes that the police will feel that pressure. Like, let's say they get transferred to an area that's predominantly white, let's say, right? So the there's not much to do. So, and there's quotas and things like that. So what they would do, because they start feeling that pressure, would purposely go out of their district or their area, go to the areas that they know has a lot of criminal activities, predominantly, you know what I mean, where it's minorities and things like that, and just basically start some shit. You know what I mean? Just so that they can meet their quota. It was just a lot of things like, I knew it! Or like, there was a lot of moments and I knew it moments when you listen to the episode. It was really, really good. But one of the things I learned that he mentioned that in Baltimore, he again, going back where he talked about segregated areas. Did you know that federal, states, and local policies have quarantined Black population in isolated slums in Baltimore, and I'm sure it's in other cities in the United States. But in 1910, there was a Black graduate of Yale Law School that purchased a home in a predominantly white neighborhood. The Baltimore city government reacted by adopting a residential segregation ordinance restricting African Americans to designated blocks. Explaining the policy, Baltimore mayor proclaimed Blacks should be quarantined in isolated slum in order to reduce the incidence of civil disturbance, to prevent the spread of communicable disease into the white neighborhoods, and to protect property values among the white majority. Thus began a century of federal, state, and local policies, police that continued to basically use this law in this present day as federal housing subsidies policy still disproportionately direct low-income Black families to segregated neighborhoods and away from middle-class suburbs. And you can actually, there's an image in one of the articles where you could see where they wrote an article like Baltimore tries drastic plan of race segregation, and this whole thing, it's insane. Hold on. Yes?
Ronan can't find Cisco.
Oh, it's under Chonilla.
Under you mean?
Like tell him to,
Ronan will know what you mean.
Find Chonilla instead of Cisco.
Is that because you restarted the router?
Well, I put in the old router and kind of tweaked it a bit. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so insane, amazing show. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes or something, but the whole time I'm listening, I was like, it's crazy.
Yeah, those Jim Crow laws, those were, some places still had them all the way up until 1965.
That is bananas.
1965, Shirley.
It's like,
yeah.
It's insane.
It's 50 years ago.
Yeah.
50.
Yeah. Only 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now is more, no wonder there's issues of race and all of that.
Yeah.
It's insane.
We got to do more digging into Canadian policies and Canadian laws.
Oh my gosh. I'm sure in places like
because we do talk
Nova
a lot
Scotia
about
and stuff.
we do talk a lot about white and black, and I just want to make sure that we don't neglect the indigenous
Canadian
population.
aspect.
Yeah.
I was just gonna go there.
Yeah.
That's probably the same thing. Well, look, when we found out that there are still laws that says that outsiders cannot go into reserves.
But I think that's
into reservation communities.
Yeah, but that might be put on the books so that way there's no like tourists driving through reservations. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But it was also as a way to show to get people to not see how bad.
But you see how we're misaligned with the reasoning behind it? We need to look into it. We need to find out more about what's happening locally.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe we can invite Wap to Canoe to educate us even more on that too.
School us.
Yes.
Bring us up to speed.
So you and I had an interesting conversation. I don't even know how that was brought up.
Yes.
About oh right. I don't know. You said something related to this. Oh, you're watching Insidious.
Okay.
I think it was like Insidious that.
Yeah, and something happened in it where you came around and you're like, that's so true.
Oh,
and they talked about,
remember.
Yeah.
I remember. So in Insidious,
yeah,
this girl sees the psychic lady from all the Insidious movies.
Yes.
And then she says, I want to get in touch with my mother.
Yes.
Because she died of cancer recently and stuff like that.
Right.
And so the psychic lady's like, well, I don't do this stuff anymore. And then she's like, okay, fine. I'll try it. And then
But I'll do it for free, because if I do it for money, I'm getting sucked back in again.
Right.
Yeah.
And then so she tries it, and then she's like, oh, she's kind of freak. Well, not
Loses
kind
her
of
shit. Yeah.
Not too, anyway. Freaks out a little bit. Stops in the middle of her freak out and says, this is the reason why that I don't do this anymore.
Right.
And so, but she said, but let me give you a word of advice. Don't call for your mother anymore. Don't do anything to call for your mother, because sometimes when you call out for the dead, you don't know what you know what I mean? It's just not something you want to mess with. Right.
Right. I've known that since The Exorcist. Right. It's pretty common knowledge.
I've known that since my parents and all the little, things.
Yeah.
Being Haitian and all that stuff.
Yeah. I've heard of Captain Howdy. Yes.
What's Captain Howdy?
Okay, then we have to rewatch The Exorcist.
Captain Howdy? Oh.
That's who she says she's talking to at the beginning of the movie. The mom's like, because she's playing with the Ouija board, and the mom's like, who are you talking to on that? She's like, Captain Howdy. He's my buddy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I don't mess with Ouija boards. Yeah, Ouija board was the one that scared me the most, to say don't mess with spiritual stuff.
Gotcha, yeah.
So when I
Very
heard,
creepy experience, yes.
Yeah, so when I heard that part as I was walking by, that's when I made that comment, like,
That is so true.
So true.
Yeah.
The conversation
And I was
started.
like, how do you know that?
Well, I was telling you that Clove, I know you feel like you don't I don't know. I don't know how I worded it, but I basically was saying, like, Clove, there are some things sometimes really in the spiritual realm you just don't want to mess around with.
But how do you know that?
I know because I have seen certain things that were just awkward.
Okay.
And unexplained.
And that's when I told you that a revealed truth is different than objectionable truth.
Clove, what do you mean revealed truth and objection? What do you mean?
It's something, okay, the difference is you have a truth that you can't prove. It's only true to you, right? But objectionable
It's not only true to me, because I'm sure there are people who probably lived in those buildings and neighboring buildings who felt some messed up energy because of those damn totem poles that was across that park.
And then you two guys can put your heads together, or however many have had these same similar revealed truths, and look for a way to prove it.
I'm even thinking, I'm not blaming, you know what, now that I'm thinking, I'm not blaming the totem poles. I think those totem poles are there for a reason, as a form of protection, because there was some bad juju in that area. Okay.
You have zero. Okay.
You
know what? You're probably right.
I do not have zero. I saw some shadows.
No, I get that you saw some stuff, Shirley.
I wasn't tired. it was not
Yeah.
that late.
Yeah, but you're
It was creepy.
But you're asking me to make, decisions in my brains based on something that you can't reproduce or prove.
Okay, fine. I can't reproduce or prove, but I do believe that that's when we got into it. Then I was saying, I do believe that people who pass on does leave a form of energy.
Okay.
I think it's like, it's energy, it's quantum physics or whatever. And
I know you're not a scientist, and I know you're not in a lab coat and stuff like that, but I would still say that that's great. But you're asking me to believe something that you can't prove.
I think there's okay, but I think that that's what the spirit is. It's a form of, some people just leave behind a really, really strong energy, and sometimes maybe it takes time to kind of fade away.
I would agree with that. In the sense that, like, let's say a family lives together and they're together for like 25 years or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, the kids all get pretty old and stuff like that, and everybody's happy living together. And then one person dies, right? Mm-hmm. I think that, like, even just the muscle memory of being with that person for so long, you know what I mean, could project it into feeling like it's still around.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of like somebody that always, like, I don't know, let's say your dad woke you up every day.
Yeah.
Every day he woke you up with like a hug and a kiss, and and that was your thing, right? Mm-hmm. But then the day he died, right, you were woken up by something else. You were woken up by like a bird outside, or you were woken up by something scratching at your window, something, you know what I mean? It's very easy to make the connection that says that this was probably my father. Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's kind of like a revealed truth. That's kind of like, this is proof enough for me that my dad is looking out for me. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Right. But you can't prove it. You can't, it's not something you can say, okay, every day my dad woke me up at 6 a.m., so every day there's going to be something at my window at 6 a.m. Do you know what I mean?
But what if for the next month, every day, there's a little bird that's at your window at 6 a.m.? Yeah. What how do you explain that?
Then you'd be able to prove it. And then you'd have to find out why that bird's there. And then you'd have to, you know what I mean? Like, you'd have to track that.
You'd have to find out that maybe the bird's been working on, like, getting this massive worm.
It would just open up more questions. You know what I mean? And you just have to pursue those questions. Yeah.
I'm just saying, for me, okay, maybe it's my Haitian side.
For you. For you.
Yes. Just don't laugh at spiritual stuff. Because when you do and you're like, ha ha ha, that's silly, I get scared because I don't want you to wake up one day and then you say, hi, Captain Howdy.
I start laughing when you start getting at me because there's some doubt in me. Like, for me, like I'll be like, yeah, okay, sure, but how can you prove that? And you'll be like, no, Clove, I'm serious. You do not want to mess with that stuff. I'm like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but how can you prove that? Like, how are you going to prove that me saying bad things about the dead is going to, inspire some, besides, like, the
bad juju,
the karma and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
I hear you. Yeah. You just don't want to laugh at, yeah. Well, then that made me think, then I went into my example. How is it that you can explain, like, I was telling you years ago, I had a dream about someone. Okay. I've never met this person in my life. Sure. And I dreamt about somebody else. Mm-hmm. And then years later, I got to see that person.
You dreamt about somebody else?
Like, I had a dream. You had a dream about a situational dream about a specific person that I've never met in my life. Mm-hmm. I don't know this person. Mm-hmm. I have not seen this person ever. Mm-hmm. And
I think everybody has these moments where they can draw connections to, right? Like, they can say, this happened because of this happened because of this happened because of this.
Right. Go ahead.
But what I'm trying to say is that when you start to connect that into, like, a supernatural universe, right, it starts to, you have to kind of prove that. You've said it yourself, extraordinary claims need extraordinary evidence, right?
Okay, yes. And I was saying to you that maybe what could make someone feel this whole supernatural thing, mm-hmm. it could be like a quantum physics spatial connectivity glitch that could happen. you know what I mean?
Shirley,
I may have had
you are
energy.
you are absolutely correct that this may be what it is. You know what I mean? We may be experiencing like cross-dimensional like, crossways, right?
Right.
But you'd have to prove that. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not up to you to get like just more angry and to convince me. I'm just saying that's great. Like that's a great hypothesis.
Okay.
Right.
So that's how we got into the psychic thing. Like maybe,
Sure.
you know, like you said, we said psychics could be just
Because you said you didn't trust psychics. Like you didn't believe psychics.
No, I don't.
Okay. So psychics is not a supernatural thing that you believe in. So Sylvia Brown, forget it. The what's his face there? The crossing over guy, forget it.
No.
Okay.
I think that sometimes people may experience some of those energy or mathematical.
Let's do a thought experiment.
On a scientific level, like you said, dimensional glitches.
Let's do a thought experiment. Okay. Just throwing it out there.
Okay.
Okay. I want you to imagine what it felt like for your dad to hug you.
Okay.
Okay. As a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can imagine that, right?
I can't because my father never hugged
hugged
me. Okay.
So, besides a hug, imagine something that you felt really good with doing with your dad, right? Like whether it's walking hand in hand or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So if you can imagine that, if you can imagine the feelings that it gives you, it's very easy to draw like an emotional, like a feelings reaction to it, right? So you remember how it feels, you get emotional a little bit, but then like, it's not hard to say that if your father hasn't been around for 20 years and you have that feeling again, that it could be amplified. Do you know what I mean? Because you forgot what it felt like and then now you're remembering, so it feels really good and it feels amplified in your brain. But then you're walking outside and you get a cool breeze that comes by. Do you know what I mean?
Or smell within that breeze.
Exactly. And it could make that association that this is actually my father. Do you know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say is that there's I think that the memories of people that are gone have haunted people more than actual physical appearances. Do you know what I mean? Like even in their behavior, like somebody who's been traumatized by somebody. Do you know what I mean? Their behavior will reflect that person who's deceased now who traumatized them. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I think that's what happens, that we wind up projecting outwardly the feelings that we have inside.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like I love my dad. I want to share that with the world. He's gone now. So, project that feeling outwardly. Share that emotion with people.
So how do you explain my dream? Me dreaming of someone else?
No, it's not up to me to explain it. I think it's a great hypothesis. It's up to you to explain it. It's up to you to explain those connections.
I think it's like, I think what I experience is like those energy dimensional glitches, universal glitch of dreaming something about someone else, not related. I have no connection to this person whatsoever. So how do I, when I meet this person, creates a sense of familiarity? Like this is strange to me. Like you seem familiar, and I start blurring out. And it was scary for me when that happened, to say, this is what you've been experiencing. This has happened to you recently. Don't worry, you've made the right decision. Like, why would I, out of nowhere, say something like that to someone I literally just met?
Because you are a very, very intuitive person from the trauma you experienced.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And there could have been something in there that like, I'm not saying what it is. I'm not saying what it isn't. I'm just saying that it's possible that it's something else. It's possible that it's something a little more attached to our known reality than a supernatural reality.
Maybe supernatural, maybe what we consider
I think you
as
really
supernatural
want, I think you really,
is that though, that
but
it
I
could
think
be
you
equated
really
in
want
some math. Hold on. Maybe supernaturalness is a mathematical equation that us human beings haven't figured out yet, that deals with dimensional, you know what I mean? Like
crossovers, yeah.
Crossovers.
Well, listen. Pudding Pop says she's been to funerals where she sees the person's spirit floating over the loved one over the loved ones. It's scary. I don't do funerals anymore.
How do you explain that?
She's like Haley Joel Osment. Is that how you say his name?
I think so.
That would be scary as shit,
How do
seeing
you
dead people,
explain
man.
that?
I can't explain it, Shirley.
Oh, so
It's not up to me to explain.
okay, but there's got to be a reason for that, right? Like if
I agree with you. I agree with you. There has to be a reason for it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't draw to the conclusion of supernatural right away. Do you know what I mean? And I think that you really want the supernatural world to exist. I think you really, really want it to exist.
I think it does exist.
Okay.
And I think it's just
Let me rephrase
could
that.
be as
You think the
explained as
supernatural world
a
exists?
form of energy.
Yes,
Like
yes.
maybe our brain, maybe like we only use 10% of our brains,
It's not
right?
true. Not true.
It's not true. What do we use?
I think we had only mapped 10% of the brain when that claim
Oh,
was made. Yeah.
okay. So maybe there are, but there are aspects of our brain that are dormant, right?
Or that they haven't discovered the use of
Or
it
as
yet.
to
Yeah.
understanding what's
Yeah,
that
no,
part
yeah,
of the
yeah,
brain,
Yeah, totally.
right?
Totally.
So
Maybe there's a part of the brain that's like, attuned to multidimensional rifts or something. I don't know.
Puddin' Pop says, I've been in a person's house that passed and see them. It's scary, but I know they won't hurt me. I feel like they have unfinished business.
Okay, we need to get Pudding Pop on the show.
Toot
'Cause,
sweet girl
if you're
or boy, because I don't know if Puddin' Pop is a girl.
If you're seeing dead
Boy,
people,
girl.
we need to hear these stories.
See?
Yeah.
You know, they are just so...
Okay, when you say see,
Okay, okay. Mr.
see what? See what?
I'm saying is how does... They're just...
Again, she has a revealed truth, right? She has something that happens to her specifically. That's hers. It belongs to her. It's true. 100%, 150%.
Like I don't like to go to psychic fairs.
Right.
I
But
don't.
it
I don't
only-
like the energy.
but at this
I don't
point-
like to.
right.
I'm scared that it's gonna awaken something in
Right.
me.
But at this point,
I don't like it.
But at this point, Pudding Pop's experience that's personal to her is not something that I need to dedicate my life to because it's not happening to me. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like somebody who's seen Yahweh, right? Who's personally experienced God, right? They're going to that, but them convincing me of it, I haven't had that experience. I don't share that same revealed truth. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's no point of me trying to pursue that. There's no point of it.
Like-
It doesn't affect my everyday life. Like,
Yes.
it doesn't change anything.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, going back to the whole.
If I saw dead people all over the place, I'd probably be going to church a little bit more often. Yes. Agreed.
So I do agree on the psychic, going back to the psychic aspect, like that we're talking about, psychics could be just someone who's just has a talent or ability to be very good readers of people, right?
Right. But if you're telling them that you're getting a spiritual message, but you're not,
that's not
saying I'm reading you. You're saying an outward spirit is coming to
something
me. When
is
you know that's not
influencing
what
me,
that is,
right?
Right. When you know you're not being influenced by a spirit, but you're actually doing the reading, like of the person's body language, and just because you're intuitive,
Right.
but you claim that it's that other thing, that's the problem.
Mm.
That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell somebody, I could tell by the way you're sitting right now that you don't feel good. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's an intuition.
Right.
But then if you go up to them and say, there's something hovering over your shoulder that tells me you're not feeling good.
Yeah, that's
Do
not
you know what I
cool.
mean?
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of like
it's deceitful.
right. But do you think there are people who believe that though? That they just plain old the explanation
Well,
is
here's
you
the
just
problem.
have like
Well, here's
an
the problem.
innate ability to know how to read. It's really just you
But
mathematically able to read a person's facial expression.
But here's
and-
where
and-
the corruption comes in.
Yeah.
Okay. You look at a person like Sylvia Brown.
Yeah.
Okay. Now she is in a position where she can tell people things that she can't prove, but that are somehow associated with them, right? Doing that cold reading, that cold calling that I was telling you about. Now, what happens is when she starts receiving money from all this stuff, the better she is at these lies, the more money she gets. So it's in her best interest to flip a switch in her brain to really believe that, to really make it something that they are about, and they totally believe it because there is a profit to be made. There's a benefit there for them. The more they believe, the more people that give them money will believe.
Mm.
That's where that whole cycle kind of like gets lost in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you got people that are willing to be delusional for the sake of, feeling better, for the sake of monetary gain, for the sake. It's kind of like a little back and forth they do.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Puddin' Pop said, yes, I try to convince people to each their. I don't try to convince people. My bad. To each their own. Try telling people the message from the loved ones and see their faces. It's like they will say specific things to me for that person to know I'm not lying. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Energy, man.
Sure. Sure, whatever it is, it's still something that could probably be repeatable and be understood a little bit more. And we want to understand that stuff. We want to understand why certain people get certain feelings, right? Like, how do they get those?
Right. How do you get a feeling?
How is one person more attuned?
Yeah.
How is one person more attuned to speaking with the afterworld than someone who's not? Do you know what I mean? Like, where's the difference? How come it's more for them than it is not for another person?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
There's a reason for that.
There's a reason for everything.
Exactly.
It's just maybe, like I said, it could be a simple mathematical, dimensional, quantum energy, whatever thing.
It could be anything. Literally anything. The reason for this to happen could be because we have white rabbits in the world, but we need to know
white rabbits. I like that.
But we.
You're talking about the Alice in Wonderland type of thing?
No, I'm just talking about like a non sequitur conclusion or non sequitur reason why things are happening.
Okay.
But if we find out why, at least we can make it more predictable and live our lives by it. Mm-hmm. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Puddin' Pop, we need you on the show.
Yeah.
I need to understand.
Yeah. Like if Puddin' Pop could 100% prove all the time that she's talking to people, like under like scientific testing, a lot of people would change their minds about what's happening around us. There'd be a whole new field of science opened up to be able to explore this stuff.
She said, I think a lot of people are scared, so they block it, but some engage. And I could totally agree with, I feel her on this, because here's why. Because when I was younger, I would feel a lot of things. I would dream a lot of situations that later, like literally later, like I would dream about things that would happen that 5 years ago, and then they happen. And then I remember them.
But I don't doubt you, but you're telling me stories that you can't reproduce and you can't prove. You know what I mean? You can't put it in a lab and have 6 people around you and you say, here's what's going to happen.
Maybe.
And if this doesn't happen, it's because of this reason. And if it happens, it's because of this reason. You can't do it. It's just, it's one-time events that are personal and true to you. Mm-hmm.
But Puddin' Pop, it's more than one-time events.
Mm-hmm. Still true to her.
Yeah.
She's saying it. Trying to convince people about it. Forget it. Forget it. Nobody gets it.
She said, yes, that's premonitions, Shirley.
There you go.
We're going to have to explore.
I can talk about this all day, but first,
let's
take a break. It's been a while.
Hey, what up? It's your boy Dino Red from the Red Rock Podcast Network, and you're listening to Chonilla.com with Clove Roy and Shirley Joseph. You better tell some motherfucking body that Chonilla is.
The Shiznit.
Hey guys, we really hope you enjoy listening to the Chonilla podcast as much as we love making it for you. But the reality is, the lion's share of our time is dedicated to our day jobs so we can cover all our costs of maintaining the podcast. We've hardly reached our full potential. The good news is, we can work together to change this. With the help of Patreon.com's crowdfunding, you can become an active contributor to our crowdfunding initiative. Let us know that our ongoing milestones for the Chonilla Network mean as much to you as they do to us. Head over to Chonilla.com, click on Patreon, and help us make the Chonilla Network the best that it can be.
How's the coffee, by the way?
It's good. It's very Haitian.
Like strong?
Strong and syrupy and sweet.
For real?
Yeah,
In a good way?
it's a very good way. I love it.
Yeah?
I love it when you make coffee.
This is a little
It's
bit.
energizing. I've had like 3 cups so far.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's good, right?
Oh my god, it's strong.
It's so good.
Oh my god, this is the strongest coffee I've ever made.
It's got me wired.
Oh mon dieu.
So anyways, back to psychics.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes, because
if you're going to share your truth for free, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, because remember that guy when we went to United States?
Sure.
How he read me for free.
You really got to look at videos of cold reading. You really got to look at
He
videos.
didn't ask me questions.
Oh, yes, he
asked me-
did.
Well, I think he kind of
Oh,
did.
yes, he did, Shirley.
Yeah.
I was standing right next
Yeah,
to you.
you're right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But me, my experience with that girl, I didn't do what he did.
Sure,
I just
I got you.
I just blurted out
I got you.
what I dreamt about her.
I got you. But wouldn't you want to know where that feeling comes from?
I'd love to.
I know,
It was
me
a
too.
scary shit
Me
for
too.
both of us.
Me too.
You'd like to have a reason. Like,
Yeah.
do you think on some aspect when
Think-
I saw her, maybe
Think
there?
if we could tap into the reason why you did that. Oh my God. We could start being able to predict people's behavior. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I see what you mean.
We could start to be able to predict people's emotions from a distance.
I'd be in the bathtub.
Yeah, I mean, we already do it with
like in that movie.
we already do it like with body language, right?
Yeah.
But body language is projected. Do you know what I mean? Like people will project their body language for you to read them a certain way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whether it's conscious or subconscious, it still can be manipulated. But can you imagine you can cut through that? You know, somebody who's smiling, saying good morning and stuff like that, and you know for a fact that they're going to commit suicide at the end of the day?
Ooh.
Do you know what I mean? Like you could prevent that shit.
I see. Yeah. Like that movie with Tom Cruise.
Oh my God.
And the twins there. In the
Oh my
tub.
God.
Yeah. What was that movie again?
You could solve so much crime, Shirley. If you could predictably invoke people who've been like murdered, do you know what I mean? And you could ask them who killed you.
I had a dream like that one
Oh my
time, man.
gosh, Shirley.
I told you that dream, right?
Shirley,
But Clove, did I ever
it's
tell you that
irresponsible.
dream?
It's irresponsible for you not to prove it.
But remember, I told you that dream one time. If I had a dream,
I rule the
you
world.
suck. I had a dream
Imagine that.
that my
I free all my
he's an
sons.
idiot. I had a dream. Stop it.
Black diamonds and pearls.
I had a dream one time
If I rule the world.
where there was this guy who was killing people.
Yeah, I had a dream. I had a dream that I was killing some people.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah,
Anyway, you
chopped them up in a bathtub.
did you really
I
in your
did.
dream?
I
That's
did.
weird, Clove.
Yeah, stirred them up.
What were you going through when you dreamt that? See how you did that? You just like
Hijacked your shit.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
You go ahead.
My dream was I had a dream about this dude who was killing people,
Yeah.
and eventually I started becoming the victim of the people that he was. I didn't know this at the
You
time.
did tell me that, man. It was like that. Yeah, and the way you described it reminded me of the movie Strange Days.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So
But you'd be like in the victim's bodies.
yeah, I would wind up at first being in the victim's body. I didn't know
That's
what
a-
was going on, and
That would be a great movie, man.
yeah, and then I would see through their eyes, and this dude would always show up, and then next thing you know, it would kind of go blank, and then I'm back again, but this time the energy was different, and I was someone else, and I didn't. And after
You know what you experienced?
what?
Living in a video game.
Yeah, and then by the third person,
Mm-hmm.
I started putting the connections together that, oh my gosh, I am the person he's about to kill. So I would hop into his next victims just before he was about to kill them.
Jesus.
So I think by the fifth person...
We need to get you into a science lab so we can make sure that you can save a bunch of lives with your dreams.
Puddin' Pop said, "Oh wow, did you feel their pain?" No. Because just when I would feel him, or I would see him in the peripheral vision.
Just right when the murdering was about to happen.
Just when he was about to come, it would just blankness, switch bodies to the next. And so
was the switching like Predator, like whoosh?
No, it would just kind of be foggy or dark, fogginess, darkness, kind of like Mist. Remember the movie Mist?
Yeah.
Kind of like that. And then I would be...
You totally died like you're in a video game.
Yeah.
Like you just got discovered, mission failed.
Pretty
reboot.
Much. Right. So then I think, and then in the dream, and I got scared too, because I remember starting to feel scared about it, because I was like, really deep down inside, I thought, and I was much older, and I thought, oh man, I'm hoping that this is not one of those, like mentioned, premonition dream, because I used to have them a lot when I was younger.
Okay. So
I thought, oh man, is this like one of those weird shit that I'm like, because I was like, just, I don't know, it was just weird like that. So I got scared. I was like, oh gosh. But then eventually in the dream, I got back to be myself. And that's when I knew.
Oh shit, he's coming for me.
It's a dream. Like, this is not a premonition. Okay. Like, I remember now. I woke up thinking, God, please don't let this be like this was a premonition. And then realizing when I thought through of my dream again, that this was just a dream. This was not like, I'm not going to turn on the TV and they're going to say, third victim found at this city or whatever.
Has that ever happened to you?
No.
So that was just like the haze of coming out of the dream.
Right. Okay. Right. So I think by the fifth victim, in the dream, I came back to being myself, and I got really, and I think I was trying to tell someone, or I felt like I needed to do something about it. So driven by supernatural forces. Right. In the dream. So I tried to now, the next victim that I would hop to try to get clues. Okay, this time, look around and see if you could see his face. Look around to see if you could look at an arm to see if there's a tattoo. Next victim, try to look around and see if, like, what kind of car that's coming up. Like, things like that I was hopping from victim to start getting clues. And then so by that time, you got wise to the game. Right. So then now. But you see what you were doing now with more predictable outcomes? You're making smart decisions. Right. So then now this time I thought in the dream, okay, I have enough clues. Right. Figure a way to stay and being back to myself. Okay. Right. So I was back to myself, and I figured out where the guy lived. So I found the place, and I got into his house, and it was like, Silence of the Lambs. Oh my God. It was like a maze. And it was like that. How, you see a lot of like serial killer houses in movies where they turn out to be like these mazes, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The house was a fucking huge maze that, you can't get out of. I think they do. It would be on purpose, so that way, in case somebody escapes, it's not that easy. In the show Dexter, there was another serial killer who had a house that was like a maze. Oh, was it? Yeah. I think when you think of a serial killer's house, you think that it would be all booby traps and mazes, right? Yeah. I mean, isn't that what you would do if you're a serial killer? Right. Yeah. Create booby traps. Yeah, you'd make a game for if somebody breaks in. Or trying to get out. Right. There you go. It's mainly for the getting out part. Way to think outside the box. Up top for that one. Well done. We should write this dream down. I thought you were going to say we should be serial killers. Oh man, Puddin' Pop says we could do a show on just dreams and spiritual things. LOL, I'm down. So am I. Awesome. That'd be wicked. We could, that's a great idea. All right. We can invite like Puddin' Pop and someone else who maybe someone on the scientific aspect.
Scientific aspect of what?
Like
the supernatural?
Yeah, maybe people like
parapsychology, I think it's called.
Yes, someone like.
Sure.
Oh my God, I know somebody. He's in Montreal.
Perfect.
I know someone.
Perfect.
Okay.
This is happening. Pudding Pop.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
This is happening.
Okay. Good idea, Pudding Pop. And so anyway, in the dream, eventually I went into their place. It was a labyrinth. And then I felt like I was getting closer and closer. And I think he kind of knew that I was there, or got a sense like, I think there's someone here. And it just got so intense.
That's creepy.
That there was a sense of, I could feel his energy getting closer to me. And you know, I felt like it was weird, like in the dream, that someone who's like that is also highly intuitive. You know what I mean? Highly, like, has to be, because it's like constant survival mechanism to feed your madness.
Okay, I don't know where you've gone now.
I'm saying is, I felt like he had a sense of feeling me too.
Oh shit!
In the dream.
Oh
yeah,
man.
Because and
that probably put you on higher alert.
Oh my God, it was insane. So it got, and then eventually, as I'm going through, and it literally felt like a labyrinth. I felt like things were getting faster and faster. It was nuts. I'm just even talking about it. I have goosebumps right now.
All right. Speaking of goosebumps, let's take a break.
Okay.
Hey guys, we really hope you enjoy listening to the Chonilla podcast as much as we love making it for you. But the reality is, the lion's share of our time is dedicated to our day jobs, so we can cover all our costs of maintaining the podcast. We've hardly reached our full potential. The good news is, we can work together to change this. With the help of Patreon.com's crowdfunding, you can become an active contributor to our crowdfunding initiative. Let us know that our ongoing milestones for the Chonilla Network mean as much to you as they do to us. Head over to Chonilla.com, click on Patreon, and help us make the Chonilla Network the best that it can be.
Oh, the brat. How come you turned? Oh,
she gets no radio time here. She gets no airplay on Chonilla.
Do you know who's
Shirley,
her
right?
sister? Right? I forgot her name.
Don't really
Lisa
care.
something. Anywho.
Lisa Left Eye?
No.
Lopez?
No.
No?
You're really annoying today.
What are you talking about?
Oh my God, you're trolling the shit out of me. It's annoying. Don't make me put the pillow over your head.
Speaking of trolling, I learned some really interesting things in the Facebook group.
Okay, what is it?
I learned that Charles had shared an infographic on how many people were killed in the U.S. in 2015 so far.
Oh, okay.
It's insane.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that have been killed by the police in the United States. It's a lot. California is number one. Up until now, in 2015, the police in California have killed 95 people.
That's messed up.
Yeah, almost 100 people to date. Texas was 64.
Mm-hmm.
Florida was 43. Arizona was 28.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Okay.
And Oklahoma is fifth at 26 people killed by the police.
Wow.
Since 2015.
Thank you, Charles. You can go to the Facebook group, facebook.com.
And get your learning on.
And just do a search for Chonilla group or Chonilla podcast forum, I mean.
Mm-hmm. I learned that American military men are fucking shredded with muscles. Yeah. Did you see?
Hello!
Oh, my girl!
That's American military men, eh?
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I would not date a guy like that.
What?
Mm-mm.
You're so lying.
No, it's not attractive to me.
What are you talking about?
It's nice to look in it's one thing when you look at it on a magazine or a calendar, but when you see it in real life and you're like, really? You're going to be on top of me? I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of muscle.
Really?
I'm serious. It's a lot. It's like, when you think about it in hindsight, a little bit, just a tiny bit, tiny bit.
For reals?
Just a little bit. Maybe that's why.
Wow.
Yeah. It's nice for me to look at, like,
Yeah,
visually.
right.
Like on a, do you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
visually it's nice.
right.
But when you even like afar, like if you're at a
beach or something.
At a beach.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you have to get, like intimately, once I start thinking about it,
Right.
there's a little scariness to me on that.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
But okay, but what if you can cut through the being scared part?
Like get that cut?
No, like if you can get through the being scared part. Like if you can get over that.
If I can get over that,
Yeah.
it's not that attractive.
Wow.
Yeah. Not for me anyway.
You're kidding.
Yeah. I wouldn't want a guy that cut. It's just...
Yeah, but you used to always talk about like LL Cool J and the way he's all built and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, LL Cool J now, he has muscle,
Right.
but it's not extreme. There was a point where he was a little too much. I remember where he started getting really cut.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what I mean? Put a little fat to that, Mr.
Right.
Mr. J. Mr. LL Cool J.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. And I say this because one time I had this dude.
This is completely flooring me right now.
I had this dude one time who came up to me and he was cut.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was like, oh my God. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt totally hot. I was like, I am awesome. This dude thinks I'm cute.
Mm-hmm. Pop your booty a little bit higher.
But in hindsight, it was like, no.
Wow.
I think for me, I think there would be a whole lot of baggage, like that person, that's going to be their life.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's
right.
their lifestyle.
They already have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's called the
it's
gym.
bodybuilding. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I have to compete with.
Really?
On top of that, it's the gym. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, I didn't get enough,
Do you even lift, bro?
yeah, I went way over my calorie count. I'd be like, shut up!
Okay. So what about me, right? What about me?
Sexual aspect, to think about it
Yeah.
for real, though.
What about me putting
To
on a bunch of muscles?
If you're not like that.
Really?
No.
So there would be a point where you would tell me like, okay, that's
too
enough
much.
with the muscles.
Yeah, I'd be like, Clove, that's too much.
Why? Because you're scared?
Because it would just not feel I feel like it wouldn't look attractive to me at a certain point.
Right.
It just would look like not real.
Right.
Almost like you're not human now. You've passed.
Right.
You talked about it in animation or in art, that there's that what's that thing you talked about where there's a line that in artistry or in animation, that when you draw something a certain way, for the eye it just looks unreal. Like
the uncanny valley?
Yeah. There's a point of that for me when it comes to cut dudes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Where it's like
it's the same thing
extreme now.
It's the same thing with me and women who are bodybuilders. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
It's like, but for me, it's more like when they get too much muscle, they start looking like a dude's physique. You know what I mean?
But what about like Serena? I'm gonna say this, Serena, you're awesome at what you do. I love you. You're amazing because you help. It helps me, her body in a way too, and seeing how some guys react about her.
Yeah.
It has helped me in some way. Move past the stereotype of what beauty is. Right. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to say, in early years, I would question, like, really? Why? I thought.
Serena?
Yeah.
Wow.
Really? Like, I remember some guys, I would say decades ago, when they would say, oh my God, she's hot. And I would think, what's wrong with you?
Really?
Yeah. I was like, really? But she's got, like, muscles, like, it's, you know what I mean? And you find that hot for real? She's
very athletic, but she's not like a bodybuilder.
Right.
You know what I mean? A bodybuilder where it's like, it looks like a dude's physique.
Right.
She looks like a very strong woman.
Look at your face.
A very curvy and strong woman.
Your face right now, you look like you're in Charlie's factory, okay? Full of chocolate.
Chocolate factory.
Chocolate factory, full of chocolate everywhere. And that's what your eyes and your face look like
oh my God.
when you said her name and talked about her body.
Oh my God. It's like realizing there's a chocolate fondue at the party. What?
Hello, Serena Chocolate Fondue Williams.
Let me get my cup. You
Pour
floweth
some of
over.
that chocolate on me.
You make me sound creepy.
No.
I learned that Janet Jackson is a vampire.
Yeah, man.
She still looks the same age. Like she
looks amazing.
She looks like that photo shoot for that was done the day after Control.
Oh, there's a photo. Wait, there's something that I did not see then.
Yeah, there's a new photo of Janet.
There is?
Yes.
Which one? Is that the one with the hat and she's like, ah! She looks like she's doing that?
No, this one was... This one...
Control!
You don't really want to know.
Okay, no. Is this
I
her now?
also
Wait.
learned...
No, I thought this is an old... Is this new?
I thought it was new. It had something in there about...
The new Arab wife look.
Right.
No, is this new? Somebody needs to tell me if this is a new Janet.
I don't know if it is. She just
Because
looks fucking good in that picture.
If that's her now,
Right.
I'd be like, what are you doing?
Okay, I'm going to remember that this is a Janet Jackson free zone because as soon as it becomes about Janet, it's all about Janet.
It's all about Janet.
Okay, so U.S. veterans...
I love her. I want to see her in Toronto in September. I have to see her.
So go.
If I'm going to go by myself, I will.
So go.
I don't care.
Me
I
neither.
have to see her.
Then start saving now.
And I hope, oh, Janet, please let this music not be weak. I hope that she schools everybody, that she makes everybody go, oh shit, we're in trouble. You know? Okay, moving on, Miss Janet. Clove, hello. Hi,
What?
I'm done. I'm done with the Janet.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm done.
We're pro Janet over here.
Oh my god, her body. I fucking hate her. But I love her at the same time.
You sound like a stalker.
I do. That is the stalker way.
Yeah.
I
Ooh.
love and I hate you at the same
hate
time.
to love you.
Oh gosh, Puddin' Pop said yes, it's the new pick. Oh my god.
Okay.
Her husband is like
I also
the
learned
best $1 billion I've ever spent. No, I'm kidding.
U.S. veterans
Yeah.
are raising funds in the U.S. and volunteering to fight with the Kurdish military against ISIS.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yep.
I believe it. But somebody in the made a great point about like, well, yeah, but what happens when you're captured? You're fucked.
Well,
that means your family's gonna have to
there's no support.
right.
There's zero support. You're now putting yourself in a position to be kidnapped and used as ransom.
But there are some, I was talking to someone who happens to be a veteran, and there was this sense like I was surprised. Like he also was expressing how he wanted to go as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some of them like they've served their country or
They know how to protect this country
right
that way.
right.
So they want to keep doing it that way.
And
if they're not doing it that way, they won't feel like they're being as protective as they could be.
yeah, it gives them
They're trained for that.
right, and some of them it gives them purpose again. They're retired, like he's
Well,
retired.
that's what I'm getting at. That's the point I'm making.
But from his conversation, I realized that there are people past ISIS, that there are men and women who are like in his position or in their position. They're retired, and they have all this military experience and background, and they feel like they're just built that they want to protect. And there are probably so many stories of people who goes to like Sierra Leone and all these kind of countries where there's war going on, and they're like, oh, I need to do something. Okay, I'm going to this country because this is going on, and I'm gonna go fight with the good side.
Yeah.
Because
Fight the good fight.
you fight the good fight. And maybe those are the one that you do need in a way to bring back because they're home. They've managed to get to survive and be home.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, I know it's luck, but I think there's experience in that too. That wouldn't you want them to like, well, okay, I know you're retired, but maybe we can bring you back and you can contribute in some aspect in the military. I don't know.
They would have to be able to see the value in their experiences and teaching it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what they would have to see.
Yeah. Anywho,
So their value right now is like hands-on like military action. Yeah.
Anywho. And what else did you learn?
I learned in 1884, an accomplished African-American journalist named Ida B. Wells was forcefully kicked off a train for refusing to give her seat to a white man.
You know what the B stands for, right? Ida Badass Wells.
And this was almost 70 years before Rosa Parks said no
Wow.
to racist assholes. Yeah.
Cool.
Also learned we're smart like 50 Cent because
Yeah, he heard the show and he said, you know what?
I
I'm
need to-
inspired by the Chonilla podcast.
I'm going to go file for bankruptcy. It's perfect.
Wait, is that a good thing that we're associated ourselves being smart with like 50 cents?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, sure.
He's a smart guy now.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's a smart dude.
Okay.
But is this not his
Gotta be smart. He's worth billions.
But it's for one particular business that he's doing. It's not for his entire like brand aspect. So I think it's for one particular thing.
Something that he can afford to go bankrupt on.
Yeah, that he crossed his T's and his Q's and he said, yeah, we're filing for bankruptcy.
We're done.
Yeah.
And the last thing and the saddest thing that I learned on the Facebook group was RIP to Sandra Bland and Devin Guilford, who recently died from police abuse. Yeah. Hashtag use of force laws.
My prayers to her family and also to find the energy to find out what the fuck happened because they slammed her head from the video.
I saw the video, yeah.
Real hard, and then they're claiming that she committed suicide.
She said she couldn't hear out of
Right.
the side of her face.
When I heard all those things,
She said she couldn't feel her left arm.
yes,
Oh my
that's
gosh.
what killed her. That slamming.
Yeah. There was
And
some
that's what
head
they're-
trauma there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I know.
I can't. I am seriously not considering to go to the United States now. Like
Ever.
it's scary. It's scary.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
I would not consider going with the kids. Maybe myself, just you and me. I don't know, but it's scary. I don't know. It's just messed up.
Yeah.
And now it's yeah. In Canada, this whole police that are not trained well, that are clearly has major issues. And I started thinking more and more about her too, right? Because she was doing videos about talking about police brutality and protecting yourself.
I saw that.
And I thought to myself, I started going into conspiracy mode. I was like, So she was planning to have a nice trip, right? Minding her own business. Got stopped because of what? It was like because of a wrong turn, left lane thing. I feel like she was targeted. I feel that maybe, I don't know, someone felt like they wanted to go into a little digging research, and she was somewhat targeted because of maybe certain things that she was talking about or sharing on. That's what I'm thinking. And it could be connected where it's someone that maybe is neighboring that happens to be a police officer. I don't know, things like that. Because it's just, I don't know. My puzzling is going like to that realm. She was an advocate about that, about police brutality. And then you just so happen to stop her for that, about that kind of like driving violation. And why attack her that way? I feel like it was personal. I feel like she was a target.
I would agree.
Yeah.
You've convinced me, Shirley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Creepy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think some police person took it upon to find out her routine or whatever and targeted her. Yeah. But it went the total wrong way because of the way they slammed her down, killed her, and now they're covering their ass.
Wow.
Yeah. That's my thought on that. Yeah. That's my conspiracy theory on this. Yeah. Anywho, moving on, because it's just ridiculous. I don't even have the words. It's scary.
This Devin Guilford kid was, I think he was like 16, or 17 wound up getting shot 9 times. Yeah.
Oh, is that the kid also?
This is a white kid.
Yes,
Yeah.
I saw that too.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was trying to tell an officer that his lights weren't on.
Yeah, he flashed him, and the officer was like, how does it get to the point that you're shooting
Trying
somebody?
to be a good Samaritan.
No, but you're shooting somebody. Do you know what I mean? And he can't tell it's a cop car because the high beams are on. Do you know what I mean? Like everything around those high beams
You can't see.
You can't see nothing. All you see is those high beams. So he says, blink, blink, your high beams are on. And because he got flashed, the cop,
clearly had a bad evening.
It's so insane, Shirley, that something could escalate to being pulled over because you saw somebody flash you their high beams and you pull over and you've killed them. Like how that sequence of events gets to that point has so many bad decisions in it.
Yeah.
So many, and like, there's no way that something like that can get to that point without it being antagonized.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, these police, man, I hope you do something. I hope you reach for something.
Yeah. It's either
That's not what policing is about.
Yeah. Yeah. They're policing out of boredom or policing out of fear and just clearly do not have the experience to do this.
Well, thank you to everyone for interacting with us in the group. And thank you especially to our consigliere, Charles the Spy, for keeping it live. And if you want to interact with everybody, go to chonilla.com/forum and click on forum to start interacting with the group today.
See. Oh, but real quick, what I learned in the group is that if you and Jason are lookalike, Jason Sudeikis.
Sudeikis?
Is that how you say his name?
I think
Sudeikis?
so, yeah.
Like, he's the guy from Horrible Bosses.
So you think we look alike?
I could see some aspect. Some, you know.
Could I be his older brother or his younger brother?
I don't see old or young. I'd say pretty equivalent.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Same age?
Yeah, same age.
Okay.
And I could see why some people in the group thought that you look alike, because I could see the nose.
Okay.
You know, you have bigger eyes. The eyes are not quite the same.
Right.
But at least it's not Paul Giamatti.
Paul
I'm
Giamatti.
Like, no, Tara Lynn. No. Was it Tara Lynn that said Paul, or was that Shirley Huang?
It was Shirley Huang Esquire, yeah.
It was Shirley
Yeah.
Huang. No,
Yeah.
Shirley.
Esquire.
No, not Paul Giamatti.
So we've had a recent influx of new members to the group, Shirley.
Yes, my apologies. I was trying
You don't have to apologize. It's awesome.
It was a
The
total
Chonilla Forum is awesome.
total mistake on my part. I was testing with my Chonilla account on finding, like, sending out to everyone, like, when I put the events.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So what we like to do is
downloaded
when
the
new
wrong
people
app.
when new people join the group, we like to celebrate it and put a post up saying "Welcome to the group."
Yeah, but not all, like,
Right.
hundreds of them.
Right. So yes, if you're new to the group and you want to say what's up to us, definitely say
If
what's
you want
up.
to get out, if you're like, want to exit the group, you're like, this is crazy.
This is so
It's totally
stupid.
fine. If you want to stay, hey, that's cool.
Interracial love. That shit doesn't work.
Ew.
Ugh.
Racial. Yuck. Anywho.
Let's take a break before we get into this news, Shirley.
Okay.
Hey guys, we really hope you enjoy listening to the Chonilla podcast as much as we love making it for you. But the reality is, the lion's share of our time is dedicated to our day jobs so we can cover all our costs of maintaining the podcast. We've hardly reached our full potential. The good news is, we can work together to change this. With the help of Patreon.com's crowdfunding, you can become an active contributor to our crowdfunding initiative. Let us know that our ongoing milestones for the Chonilla Network mean as much to you as they do to us.
What's up?
Nothing.
Okay.
You ready to get in this news?
Yes.
News. I like the news. News. What is in the news? Yay, the news is not bad.
According to the Montreal Gazette, Osheaga issued a statement on Facebook to say it would be banning the wear of First Nations inspired headdresses at the festival this year.
Which is amazing.
The Osheaga Arts and Music Festival announced Monday that it will no longer be permitting attendees to wear First Nations headdresses as accessories during the 3-day festival at the end of July. The festival posted a brief statement accompanied by a photo of a young woman wearing a headdress on their Facebook page saying, "The First Nations headdress have a spiritual and cultural meaning in the Native communities, and to respect and honor their people, Osheaga asks fans and artists attending the festival to not use this symbol as a fashion accessory." The post received...
No matter how cool it looks, because it is, I must admit.
The post received over 1,000 likes and has been shared over 150 times in under half an hour.
I was really shocked and surprised about that. But then I realized, oh, it's Canada. I don't mean to put you down, Merca, because if it was Merca, I'd be like, oh hell no!
I want to wear my headdress.
So I was like, it's Canada.
Right.
Makes total sense.
I'm glad that they put their foot down on that, though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm glad that they said, okay, culture appropriation is not going to be happening this year.
It's not cool, guys. Yeah. It's just not cool. Right?
Yeah.
Anywho. No, I thought that was very, very cool. And I was really, really surprised of the positive, of a lot of people like, you know what? Makes total sense.
Yeah, the community support was behind it 150%.
Yeah. Very, very surprised.
I don't think there'll be any protests.
No.
Quit taking away my headdress. I want to wear it when I want to wear it. I only get to wear it once a year.
Right.
Who are you to tell me to take off my headdress?
Right. Right.
I'm the chief in my house.
Okay. Some more news, also in the MTL, actually. Actually, here's the news. Praveen Albuquerque.
Praveen
Albuquerque. Yeah, Praveen
Albuquerque.
Is it Albuquerque?
Yes.
Okay, Albuquerque. He was trying to get a hospital card when the clerk at the Verdun Hospital demanded that he speaks French. Now, although he's perfectly bilingual, he chose to speak to the administrative clerk in English.
Oh, this is a dude's name.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about a place.
No.
A place in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
No, Praveen Albuquerque.
Gotcha.
Is the name.
Gotcha.
So at that point, she said to Praveen, in a very unpleasant manner, in French, "S'il vous plaît, I speak French perfectly, but when it comes to medical things, I prefer to speak English." So basically, she's like, she said something like, "S'il vous plaît, speak French," or something like that.
Right.
And she kind of got very agitated, and she said, "No, this is Quebec, and you will speak to me in French."
This is in the emergency room.
Yeah. This is like, when you you know what?
Quebecers aren't bad people. They
Yeah.
just have their priorities a little mixed up.
Yes. So Paul Brunet, who is a patients' rights advocate, said that legally all Quebecers are entitled to emergency medical services in English and French.
That is correct, Quebec.
But there is a gray zone when it comes to non-emergencies or administrative issues. It depends on the availability of personnel or willingness of the administration.
Oh, okay. So they can determine what's an emergency or not, and then they can say, well, because we deem this as not being an emergency, I'm going to only speak to you in French.
No, they're saying the staff in the emergency, so basically doctors and nurses,
Yeah.
they have to provide their service in English and French. They have to communicate. But what they're saying, it's the non-emergency. So people who
Right.
are like
But
maybe
who determines that?
security
They
or
determine
administrative staff.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
They're the one that's where there's a little of a gray area.
Willingness of the administration.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so hands-on direct medical attention, you can get it in English or French.
Yeah. If they came
But
at
going
you
to the
and said,
hospital and getting your stuff filled out, they could say, I'm only doing it in French.
right, that's where it's a little gray.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And he brought up a good point. He was like, look, I could speak both, but I'm more comfortable in English, and this is a medical issue.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I'm going to provide you the right, as much information in the language I'm comfortable with, so that way we can get to a closer diagnosis of what the frick is going on with me.
Well, it turns out that he's not entitled to that at all.
Right. Right. So Albuquerque, who ultimately got his hospital card, said that he would like the government to guarantee access to health care services in English at all times, so both in French and English. I do believe very strongly that Anglophones should not be some sort of second-class status. Whether I'm an immigrant, whether I was born here, if my language is English, that is my right. Yeah. So, yeah. So if you go to an emergency, or the administration may be assholes at you at times. That's just messed up. Like, it is public service. If you work within a public service industry, so whether your emergency or not, because of you're within that service, you should come on. You should learn to communicate in both.
The problem I have with it is that I'm sure they do know how to communicate within both, but it's not as though this person is speaking a language that's not like a language of this country. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like they're speaking Sri Lankan, right?
Right.
So,
and
so if they're speaking Sri Lankan,
he looks
I'm
South
sure,
Asian.
and if this person is speaking Sri Lankan is saying like, well, no, I deserve to have, be communicated. I want to understand what you're saying and in my language. Well, he can't have access to that because it's not legally required in Canada, right? But it's when it is legally required in Canada, and I know this nurse knows how to speak English and French. You know that, right? But she is deliberately choosing to make your experience more difficult and uncomfortable. Do you know what I mean? And when you do that, you got to question what is their motives in being a healthcare provider, right? If you see an opportunity to make somebody more comfortable and you decide not to, because of a personal viewpoint you have, you are. If you choose the path of discomfort in a patient that comes to the hospital, you're not doing your job.
Yeah,
and that to me is unacceptable. Yeah,
to a service. Yeah.
Until, like, I know you may disagree with the language laws, right, as they stand, but until they change, you can't just act the way you want. You know what I mean? Like, it's anyways.
Moving on in other news.
Go for it, Shirley.
There was this cool video about it, wondering what privilege is, Clove. And I thought this video was really,
I want to learn.
This is really cool. It's in the video, basically several people are asked a series of questions.
Yes.
And they're all lined up. They're all standing up, lined up, same line. And they're told to either step forward or backward
I saw the video.
If the question applies to them, right? So each question's ask the participant whether or not they enjoy certain privileges or endure different disadvantages.
Right.
So it made me think, for you and me, I'm not going to say, there was a lot of questions. Which, when you look at the video, I think this would be a great exercise to do with children in elementary school and high school. I think this would be, I would say actually high school and university, college, or even like I don't know if in the workforce that would work.
It's probably a good exercise when you need to expose the benefits of privilege, right?
Yeah. Well, some of the questions were, and I was curious to know if you take a step forward and step back, I'll answer it too. If your parents worked nights and weekends to support your family, take one step back.
No, my parents didn't work. They were like always on welfare.
Oh.
Taking a step back.
My parents, they worked Yeah, they work nights and evenings, especially when they own a business
Yeah.
in Montreal. So yeah, I would, yeah. So I would take forward,
Yes.
right?
Well, what does the question say again?
If your parents work nights or weekends to support your family, take one step back.
One step back. So
Yeah.
I take a no. I don't move.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't move.
How many questions is this?
Just a few. Just a
Okay.
few. I want to see. Okay, so you would take a step. No, you would stay put, and I would step forward.
Forward one.
Okay. I'm putting an S. I don't know if it will make sense. What's the next one here? Oh, if you were able to move through the world without fear of sexual assault, take one step forward. So you and me would be pretty much equal because I would not take a step forward.
Okay.
If you can show affection for your romantic partner in public without fear of ridicule or violence, take one step forward. Would you take a step forward, Clove?
Yes.
I would too. Maybe in our 20s, I would say probably not, but I would too. If you have ever been diagnosed as having a physical or mental illness / disability, take one step back.
Okay.
If the primary language spoken in your household growing up was not English, take one step back.
Okay.
If you came from a supportive family environment, take one step forward.
Okay.
Man, you know, close. If you have ever tried to change your speech or mannerism to gain credibility, take one step back. If you're thinking about it,
Okay, go.
if you can, why did you sigh on that? Why did you sigh on that? What made you think?
I remember that. I remember feeling that, but like more like social pressure wise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it because you were like in Scarborough and you were surrounded by a bunch of Jamaican people?
Yes.
If you
How intuitive of you.
no, for real. No, for real.
Sure. You still hear me say words like bumper clot.
Okay. If you can go anywhere in the country
Yeah.
and easily find the kinds of hair products you need or cosmetics that match your skin color, take one step forward.
Okay.
Damn. If you were embarrassed about your clothes or house while growing up, take one step back. If you can make mistakes and not have people attribute your behavior to flaws in your racial / gender group, take one step forward.
Okay.
It's funny, eh? For me, it's a time thing. Maybe when I was 10, it would be a different answer. It's interesting. If you can legally marry the person you love regardless of where you live, take one step forward. If you were born in Canada, United States, France, UK, you get the idea. Take one step forward.
Take 6 steps forward.
Shoot. If you
Walk around the block.
Right. If you felt like you had adequate access to healthy food growing up, take one step forward.
Okay, you know what? I'm way off the privilege chart. I get it.
Are you back in the line?
I'm way forward in privilege. I understand.
Right.
The goal of this.
Right.
Do you have running water? Yes. Take a step forward.
Anywho,
Can you access it whenever you want? Yes. Take a step forward.
Right.
I get it.
So you've moved step forward?
I've got no more room on my page.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, because I'm very close to the back of the starting line.
That's because black women have it rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to the privilege. That privilege example.
Yeah. Yeah.
Girl.
I'm pretty much like one line forward from the start. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I saw this comment related to this this video.
Yes.
This dude, Mike, I'm not gonna say last name. He wrote, My father was raised without running water, no toilet, and his family grew their family to survive.
Here we fucking go.
He worked his way through college, worked his ass off afterwards, and
Yes.
is now a multi-millionaire.
Yes.
Yeah, he put a roof over my head and food in my stomach. But I've been working since I was 14 for what I have now. What we have here isn't privilege, it's opportunity.
Right. Okay. Okay, so this segues well into the next segment.
I say he's black, this kid.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's not.
So my next segment
Yeah.
is called Shit White People Who Think They Aren't Racist Say in 2015.
Okay.
Yes.
Shit, white people say.
Who think they aren't racist? So Eddie from the Facebook group shared a post about the quiet racism in Silicon Valley,
Okay.
which was recently published on Vice.com
Mm-hmm.
in their nerdy section called Motherboard. So even with the support of stats from the Wall Street Journal, here's some of the comments that came out of that.
Okay. Oh, no.
Patrick Ford said,
I'm like, oh, no.
I feel like this argument is invalid, mainly for one reason. One cannot mandate that there be an equal amount of whites and blacks in a company because that ratio is not reflected in the population as a whole. It would be reverse discrimination to only hire blacks in order to make up for the lack of black employees. That's what the EEOC tries to get you to do with calling it a quota. Besides, Asian minorities are kicking butts in engineering and science anyway. I think it's just that there's not as many blacks in Silicon Valley due to the simple fact that not as many blacks have an interest in it, which is perfectly fine. That's my humble 2 cents for what it's worth. Thank you, Patrick Ford, for showing us what white people still say in 2015. Steven Steelman says, can everyone get off this racism bullshit and get on with their lives?
See, this is the kind of shit, right? Why this is continuing, sir.
Yeah, Steven Steelman clearly doesn't get it. Daniel R. Isit, I think, says, bigotry against whites just goes on and dot, dot, dot.
Just say the first name, please.
Why? They're on Facebook. It's public. Can you get some ice cream, sweetie? Can you grab some ice cream?
See your smile.
Yes. No, this is, you can go on Facebook to the Motherboard Facebook group and you will see these names and these comments.
Okay.
It's public stuff. Let's see here. Wadhi Jean
Oh, why'd he know?
de Richard D. Fayad. Who cares about black? Not me.
What?
Mhm.
He's not even.
Right.
He's not even.
Right. He's just
not
really,
even-
really light skinned.
He's not even white.
Blake Hare. Oh, God. STFU already. That's not fucking true. If anything, your chances of getting hired are higher because people are scared about being labeled a racist.
Wow.
Thank you, Blake, for reminding us what white people still say in 2015. Ethan Andrews writes, complete bullshit. Whites are a minority in America now. If you're black, Hispanic, or Arab, you can get free school, phones, and housing, so shut up with your left-wing agenda.
I like how you said Arab because that's such a white thing to say.
That's how he put it in quotes, too. He put black in quotes, he put Hispanic in quotes, and Arab in quotes. Thanks, Ethan. Daniel Almond says, gotta qualify to do a job before you get hired to do it. And the best qualified in the group make the cut, no matter what color.
Wow.
Kelby R. Joel Key says, so stupid. Way to spread the hate, you stupid Facebook page.
Hey. Really?
Yes, that's shit white people still say in 2015. Justin Scott Hodge says, just a bit of hyperbole, no? I agree there is discrimination, but this is blowing it way out of proportion. Wow. For fuck's sake.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So he's
Denial.
not only does he
And
not
don't
get
know.
it, he's frustrated about not getting it. This guy needs a black friend. And not just a person he knows who's black, but a friend enough to say, dude, you sound like an idiot.
I think my app it needs to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should, anytime that you know what it should be? Anytime you're interacting with somebody who's not white, somebody who makes you feel uncomfortable because you're racist,
Yeah.
you just speak into your app.
Well, didn't
And
they
then
do
it hears what you say, and then it tells you if it's racist or not.
I think there's like a skit like that already.
Is there?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
there's a video of some dude where you get points for not doing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but yeah, that's the one where you get points for not doing something racist or
Yeah,
something.
for doing
or
non-racist
being-
things.
Yeah.
Okay. David Helton says, please tell me more how much better I have it because I'm white. This is ridiculous on so many levels.
Oh dear.
Fanny Faircloth says, tell that to the people at McDonald's. They only hire black folk.
Oh, trying to be funny.
I cannot get a job pissing on the sidewalk in this region. Sucks to be white, man.
Wow.
White in America, that's hard, man. Chris Gallagher says, lol. Wow, this is a joke, right? Half the corporations get tax write-offs for hiring people on welfare and shit. Please delete this post. This is fucking dumb. I know plenty of black people with good jobs. One of them even has an attempted murder charge, too.
Are you serious?
Thank you very much, Eddie, for sharing that in the Facebook group.
What are you?
That was shit white people say who think they aren't racist in 2015.
Shit white people say
Yeah.
in 2015 who think
So
that they
ridiculous.
aren't racist but really are.
But don't tell them that because they won't get it. Insert fart sound.
Wow.
Okay, so before we get into Bible Scriptures 90210, Shirley, let's take a quick break.
Maze balls.
Hey guys, we really hope you enjoy listening to the Chonilla podcast as much as we love making it for you. But the reality is, the lion's share of our time is dedicated to our day jobs so we can cover all our costs of maintaining the podcast. We've hardly reached our full potential. The good news is, we can work together to change this. With the help of Patreon.com's crowdfunding, you can become an active contributor to our crowdfunding initiative. Let us know that our ongoing milestones for the Chonilla Network mean as much to you as they do to us.
Oh, before you get into your site watch, I want to get to feedback.
I was going to do Bible Scriptures, but go
Oh!
ahead. No, go ahead. Do your
Oh,
feedback.
do your Bible scriptures.
No, don't do that.
Okay, quickly. Okay, some feedback. Chris says, great shoe. I know.
Great show.
I know, but he wrote shoe. Great shoe store. No. Oh, I see. Okay. Great shoe store pop-off story. It's me now. Catching up on my podcast, so I just heard it. Clove was mad.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Terrelyn said, I'm at my desk in tears trying to hold in my laugh from this bitch video on the podcast. And she said, moose knuckle, I'm weak. Related to. So gross. The vagina. Other names for vagina. Oh my gosh. At Cabby 2000 said, welcome back, Clove and Shirley. So glad you guys are on the other side of the tomfoolery. Oh, and Joe, remember my name slip there on the last show, Joanna Man.
Yeah.
She said, girl, I have had my name pronounced way worse than you did on the podcast. She said, one day I will have to share with you. That's why I go by Joe.
Okay. Thank you very much for being patient with us, Joe.
Yes. Phew. And Latrice at Kelly Lai 1974. She said, just watched a documentary about the biracial Jewish woman, Little White Lies on Netflix. Recommended from when we talked about it, it was good and interesting.
I know, right?
I know, the mother. Oh my gosh, still. I want a follow-up. I want a follow-up of that documentary, but this time let's focus on the mother.
She's the person who goes to the family function and everybody under their breath is saying, "This bitch."
Yeah. Yes, she was. Now not anymore, because the cat's out, finally out of the bag.
Is it? Bum, bum, bum.
And at Dark Orchid X said, really need to see this. Just watch June Cross Secret Daughter on YouTube. Tears. So
What's
it's
the
a
name?
recommendation.
What's the Twitter name?
June's Cross Secret Daughter.
Who sent that to us?
Anne,
Which
is at Dark Orchid X.
Dark Orchid.
Dark.
So sexual.
I know, right? So June Cross.
Dark Orchid.
So we're gonna have to check on YouTube, but she that gave her tears.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what almost gave me tears?
Your face?
Yes, that, of course.
You're welcome.
Oh shoot, what was that documentary we saw? And it was so sad.
About
I know I probably
Nina
mentioned
Simone?
Yeah. Still
the one you're
sad
talking
in my
about?
mind, yeah.
Yeah. What happened to you, Miss
Yeah.
Simone? Yeah.
So sad.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta watch that. Like it
Doesn't really tell you much, but it just kind of shows you the sequence of events, and you can kind of see that she's going through some serious shit.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If she could live on the stage every single day 24/7, the world would be just fine for her.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But it just made me think that
Living got in the way of what she needed to do.
right, but I think of people like her, people like Mozart, people who are their level of genius is just so much, right? That it's
Well, that's how we connect with people, right? We connect with people by sharing our emotions. If she feels that the best way that she can connect with people and share her emotions is through music,
oh my god.
that's all she's going to want to do.
Right. I never thought of it that
Yeah.
way. That's like the clearest way for her to communicate how she feels.
Exactly.
Because outside of that,
Yep.
people just don't get it.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Like nobody can get it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Amazing.
ooh. So I found in Secret Daughter produce. Let's say during the school year, she lived in Atlantic City with her black family as an adopted child. On summer vacation, she lived in Los Angeles as part of a white show business family with Norma, her biological mother, and stepfather, Larry Storch, an actor famous in the 1960s TV series F Troop. Norma had left June's father, African-American vaudeville performance Jimmy Cross, and had given June away when she became too dark to pass for white.
Oh my gosh.
That is what the movie's about. June Cross, Secret Daughter.
Oh my
Whoa,
gosh.
and I found it is on YouTube. So yeah, Google
We're
that.
watching that tonight.
Yeah, it's a 2-hour
Extravaganza of
yeah,
tears.
on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Will I be ready? We shall see.
Speaking of tears,
Bible Scriptures 90210.
it's time for Bible Scriptures 90210, Shirley.
All right.
Yeah.
What did Joshua do?
We're going to get into chapter 9 tonight, and the players are the Gibeonite merchants, the Israelites, and Joshua. So last time we heard about the Israelite army retreating from a city called Ai, and how they blamed it on a dude named Achan and stoned him to death.
Oh, right.
Then-
because he was sneaky and put something under his tent and didn't tell nobody.
It was God's shit. It was God's stuff. Then
Don't
God
mess with God's animal fat, dog.
Then God made a plan with Joshua to ambush the city of Ai. And once they took it over, Joshua kept telling everybody about God's laws.
You said
Couldn't
ambush
shut up
in a
about it.
very Canadian way.
Ambush.
You said ambush.
Ambush. Joshua to ambush. All right, let's get into this. I call this one Fool Me Once.
Who Who gets fooled? I think it's oh no, you can't fool the God. Never mind.
So by now, all the kings who live in the area that Joshua and the Israelites were creating havoc in, because they took over the city of Jericho, they took over the city of Ai. So everywhere around them decided to join forces so they could take down Joshua.
Who?
Everybody around.
Oh, before
Because they see that the Israelites are coming through, and they're coming through hard, and they're getting ready to take a lot of shit.
Okay.
So they
Good strategy. Good
decide to get together, yeah.
Good strategy.
Except the people from a place called Gibeon. And they were so scared of the Israelites, they thought it would be better to try and trick Joshua and the Israelites instead of fighting them.
Okay, have they not heard the rumors?
Listen, man, these people don't know what's going on.
Oh my god.
They've only heard rumors so far, clearly. So they switch up their clothes to be all raggedy and stuff, and they loaded some donkeys.
Why are they trying to look raggedy? Is that their idea of what they think Israelites look like? Yeah. They are racist.
Exactly. Well, they get into a little bit why they look like that. So they switched up their clothes to be all decrepit, and they loaded some donkeys with some moldy bread and garbage in it and stuff like that. Wow. And they go to see Joshua, all like, we're from someplace really far, and let's trade some stuff. So
here's my moldy bread.
Right, so the Israelites were all like, I think these dudes live like right next door to our city. Okay, so what are you guys looking to trade anyways? And so they look at Joshua, and they're all like, we just want everything to be cool and be your servants. So Joshua is all like, who the fuck are you guys, and where the fuck did you come from?
Coming out of nowhere, all up in my business, in my face.
Right, talking about trading shit. You guys the popo?
I got plans.
Yeah.
I got maps to draw.
That's right. I got some sand to walk on without my sandals. So the Gibeonites were all like, oh man, we come from so far away. You probably never heard of it. But we're here because of how famous your God is. Everybody knows about all that shit he did in Egypt. Not to mention what he did to those two Amorite kings, Sihon and Og. I think one of them got like impaled or something like that.
Okay.
So our elders want us to bring you this food and make a treaty with you guys. Don't mind the mold on the bread. That's just a sign.
It's totally for taste.
Right. And it shows you how far we've traveled. Yeah, that's it. We've been traveling so long. All our stuff is busted and worn out.
Yeah, just scratch it off.
Yeah.
Just take the knife. Just scrape it off.
We had really good intention, but it's all to shit. And so to be polite, the Israelites tried some of the stuff that they brought with them, but the Bible says they didn't tell God about any of this.
Who?
The
Israelites?
Israelites. They just kind of like, okay, yeah, let's try it. Let's just be polite.
Why they have to ask God?
Well,
right, because there's all these.
They didn't know if God would approve of this or not. They didn't know,
right,
so they kept him out for a minute.
Then they have all these new rules, and it's like, all right,
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So Joshua then decides to make a deal with them.
Okay.
With an oath to God, so they can live and keep trading their goods. Excuse me. So it only takes 3 days to pass before their ruse is uncovered. On the third day, the Israelites went on a little road trip to see how close by these guys actually came from. So once they saw these guys were living practically next door to them, they were all pretty pissed about it. And but they didn't attack them because they made a deal to keep them alive. The leaders were all like, I know this is bullshit, but we totes promised we wouldn't kill them, and we made an oath in front of the big guy.
Which is who? Joshua?
God.
Oh, God, G-O-D.
Yeah,
okay.
They made a commitment in front of God as an oath that they wouldn't hurt them. They would just keep in trade route, but then they found out that they lied about where they were from. So then the leaders came to an agreement that they would let them live, but only as servants to the Israelites. And they call out specific roles like woodcutter and like water carriers. So, yeah.
So they
stuff
said,
like that, yeah.
So they're alive. They're keeping them alive, but they have to be servants.
They got to be indentured servitude for the rest forever.
To the Israelites?
Because of their lie.
But that's really awkward because weren't Israelites slaves themselves?
Shirley, there's no point trying to understand the logic or the lack thereof.
Yeah, but they
This is burning your brain. You're like, what the? Wait a minute. But they, what?
but they were born into it. They weren't trying to trick people.
Oh no, they said we won't kill you as long as you're
Does
our slaves.
have they told God yet about this?
God knows everything. God
Okay.
knows it's all happening.
So this is fine.
Clearly,
Okay.
he's like, well done, good
Well
decision,
done for
guys.
not letting. That's the lesson that people must learn.
But
That you don't trick us.
Joshua does confront the fake merchants,
Mm-hmm.
and he was all like, "Why would you lie to me like that? Now you're all cursed to be servants to us forever."
You
So
should just mind your business,
Right.
And wait for us to come. And you could have just waved a freaking flag,
Right.
And nobody would have died.
That's right.
Nobody would have been a slave or anything.
We're in the same position we're in now. So the fake merchants, they were all like, listen, Joshua.
Listen, Joshua.
Listen, Joshua.
Listen, Joshua.
We were scared, man. Do whatever you want to us. So Joshua decided to let them live. But the Bible says that the Gibeonites would be woodcutters and water carriers forever.
Wow.
Yeah.
So every time you see a woodcutter or somebody handing you water,
He must be a Gibeonite.
as a like in the football
That's
field
right.
or something.
Next time, we'll hear about 5 Amorite kings who attacked the Gibeonites, the Israelites' ability to make the sun stop moving, and more war for Joshua.
Wow. Gibeonites. Didn't pay off. You know why?
Why, Shirley?
I'll tell you why. Because
Fast plate.
And the Nate. Fast plate. And the Nate. Fast plate. And the Nate. Fast plate. And the Nate. We heard about the book of Joshua and the shady Gibeonites. They made their own little beds, and now they gotta serve the people. Fast plate.
That was good.
And the Nate.
I'm impressed.
And the Nate.
go to chonilla.com/donate in order to support the show. Let us keep going and going and grow. Grow the network, grow the show, grow the podcast, and bring you some more BS 90210. Know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Don't be like the Gibeonites. All right? And always give a cut eye to a woodcutter. You know why? Fast plate! And the Nate! Fast plate!
And the Nate.
Oh, yeah. Wow. The stories are,
Something else, eh?
for sure, amazing.
It raised a lot of questions.
If I was a kid, I'd be like,
But wait. I thought
my
But-
face would be all crooked all the time.
that's why I got yelled at in Catholic school all the time.
Really?
Because I was like, but wait. I thought, didn't you say all at the same time is what you're telling me?
Shut up, Clove. Just, okay.
So if they were, so why did they have to get circumcised again?
Oh, gosh. You got a site watch?
I do. It's the Wall Street Journal Diversity in Tech Post, and it has the ratios of tech companies outlining men versus women and minority versus white.
Oh.
Yeah, so it shows like numbers, straight up numbers of who is most in charge when it comes to tech companies. And guess who it is, Shirley?
What do you mean in terms of white?
Yes,
Google.
it's white men.
Oh. Google.
Yes.
I'm like, Google. Oh,
I probably asked that question wrong, but anyways,
no, I don't know.
but there's some evidence. There's been some like
Actual
some telemetry.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Calculations,
Yeah.
research,
Yeah,
surveys.
exactly.
Wow.
Hmm.
What's gonna happen when white men popularity starts going down? What you gonna do, Clove?
I don't know. I don't know, Shirley.
We're gonna be like, oh.
Won't get free
I
stuff
remember
no
when the
more.
white man used to be strong. Look at them now. in the corner over there.
Begging for scraps.
Wait, I had a site watch too, man.
It's okay. We control the timing of the show. We can stop
Hello.
and go
No,
when we want.
my site watch, and I want to give a big shout out to. It's a really cool website called Mix American Life.
Mm-hmm.
And the site, what they do is they curate and share photos, articles, and videos on the topics of mixed culture, mixed heritage, mixed identity, whether mixed proximity, relationships, or adoption, anything when it comes to being Chonilla.
Wow. Awesome.
You know, being a tomorrow people.
Nice.
Right? All the blends with our mission of reducing xenophobia and hate, which we blog about also at Community Village. So I wanted to give a big shout out to Glenn. He is the curator of .wordpress.com.
He's got a picture of the Lovings on the cover.
He's got a picture of a loving and
Wait, the Lovings?
The Lovings, yes.
Okay.
Yes, the Lovings. And and so any and everything related to interracial.
Loving this picture is.
I love this picture. And including interracial articles, not just, tomorrow people, but also interracial related and guess, so from podcasts to blogs.
Cool.
We're in there too, man.
Of course.
It's pretty cool.
Nice.
It was a surprise to me. I was like, oh, look at that. This is a cool site.
That's great, man.
Yeah, so. And then you get to discover.
Have you reached out yet?
Yeah, definitely. Hello,
Girl.
Yeah, so shout out to Glenn on there's a lot of work that's been put through the years on this website. You really
Very
do have to
cool.
check it out. There's
Very
so
cool.
many information
Awesome.
related to that. So
Awesome.
just really want to give that site watch shout out.
Very cool.
That's it.
That's it. That's all.
That is all. We are done until next week, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, fun day. Sunday, Bible day. Anywho, I want to say thank you to Rip Radio Network, to Radio La Salle, CKVL 100.1 FM, to iHeartRadio. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spreaker. That's ways that you can find us out. And I wanted to also give a shout out to, I'm thinking top of my head. Somebody tweeted us about iTunes. I don't know if some of you are having problems seeing the updates on iTunes of our latest episodes, but if you are, I'm working on that. I've reached out to iTunes. I'm hoping that the feed will be fixed. Somehow, Clove, on your phone, you're able to get it on your phone, but I think it's just not updating on the website.
Pudding Pop would like to let us know that we had a great show,
Thank you, Pudding Pop.
and we always make
Pudding Pop.
her Sundays better.
Aw, thank you.
Very
And
nice.
we're definitely going to look into this whole psychic premonition, para.
We're gonna have a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is should be interesting.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm going to have to figure that out. What else? Thank you to... email us, feedback@chonilla.com.
Yes.
Or give us a call toll free at 1-844-CHONILLA. That's again, that's 1-844-246-6455. This is free. You can leave a message. You could rant. You could complain. If you had to say no to an asshole story, this is the place to do it.
Yeah, if you just want to hear your voice saying what's up to us.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We love to hear from you. Love to hear from you. So again, 1-844-CHONILLA. Follow us again, Twitter at Chonilla or Clove. You can follow Clove at Clovesaurus. He will tweet you when he can tweet you.
Tweeting Ninja.
Right, in and out.
Come and go.
You can tweet me, Shirasaurus. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes or Stitcher. We'll read it on the show. Stack your cheese. No, not stack your cheese. Do we stack the cheese? Do we stack the cheese still?
I don't know, do we?
No, because you can go on Patreon to find out ways different ways that you can support this
Yes.
show, different pledges. So
Yeah, so Patreon allows us to see who's contributed what and the total amounts and stuff like that. So we will be stacking the cheese under the hood. So when we get new merchandise, you'll be getting new merchandise. That's just how it works.
yes,
So,
yes.
But
yes,
I think
yes.
we should just stop saying stack of cheese. Just move forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go to donateyouraccount.com/Chonilla. We'll spread the Chonilla love on your behalf to your followers and friends. It'll be good. It'll be clean. Really, by donating your account, if you're unable to do it through Patreon, this is another great way that you can help support the show in order to help Chonilla grow socially and social media, gain more listeners. We love that. Thank you so much to the No Limit soldiers that I'm trying to see. I saw Amber. I saw Puddin' Pop. I saw Leslie earlier and Rodney. So thank you guys. And don't forget to make a better place. Say no to an asshole. It's very, very important.
Yeah, it's important to make the world a better place by saying no.
And you don't have to explain nothing. Just say no and walk away.
Yeah, being done means being done.
That's right. What's the quote for today?
Girls are not machines that you put kindness coins into until sex falls out. That was Sylvia Plath.
Oh, that's good.
I agree with that.
Every
I've
teenage boy's...
I've tried putting coins in. Doesn't work.
In which slot, Chloe?
Easy.
Okay. Have a good week. We'll talk to you next Sunday.
Peace out, everybody. Chonilla.com is now on Stitcher. Listen to us on your iPhone, Android phone, BlackBerry, and free. Stitcher is smart radio for your phone. Go to Stitcher.com and download it for free today. Oh yeah, and we'd really appreciate a thumbs up.
I try to find a picture with a hat on. See, I see the nose, a little bit the eyes. The forehead, not quite the same. I see some similarities. Fred said, I always thought he kind of looked more like Sean Paul.
Dirty.
Mercedes said, no, I don't think so.
Mercedes was like, he looks like Paul Giamatti.
Brandon said, I definitely not seeing it. LOL. Is this all white folk look alike from the right angle stuff? Cause they're so different to me. Please share the angles. Want to see it too. Pulls out protractor. I love that picture.
Flip flop, RoboCop, lollipop.
Shake it, shake it, shake it, baby. Get butt naked, baby. Naked, baby. Shake it, shake it, baby. Get butt naked, baby. You know you drive me crazy.
Go to Chonilla.com.